Okay guys, this is part 2 of my CNC build, and I just wanted to show you the progress I've made so far. I'm pretty much through with the gantry and the Z-axis, and I'm really pleased to how everything has turned out so far. This is just 2x2 tubing, and in part 1 I told you that I had tried the skate bearing carriage like this one on this, and it didn't work. It didn't work at all for me, and so I decided to go with these linear rails here. And I actually got this idea from another YouTuber, and I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, so I'm not even going to try it. I'll just leave a link in the description so you can go check out his videos. But he has some really good, really informative videos on CNC machines and how they work. I mean, he's built several himself, and he builds all of them just a little bit different. But I got this idea of putting the 2 linear rails from him, and one would have probably been good enough, but I had to buy 2. These are some of the cheaper ones on Amazon, and I'll put a link to these also. But I had to buy 2 together. I mean, that's how they sell them. So since I had to go ahead and buy 2, I decided to go ahead and use both of them on this machine. And it may not help any, I don't know, because one didn't have, I mean, there might have been a tad bit of slack, but I really don't think it was enough to hurt anything. You could barely see it. But with 2 of them, this thing is rock solid. I mean, there's no play. You can put force on it anywhere you want, and it's not going to move. The only pain with this was drilling and tapping all of these screw holes. And I think there's 25 in each one of these rails, and I had to drill and tap every one of them. And I used number 10 by 32 machine screws with Allen heads, and that seemed to work good. It rolls really good. There's no hard spots in it. Push this to the other side so I can go around and show you how I made my mount. This actually is part of the carriage that I bought. I cut this off to be able to mount the motor on. This is a piece of angle iron that I cut down to join them together, and this is bolted to the bearing blocks on the linear rail on top. And right here is the face plate that came off of the other. This is part of the other carriage, and it bolts to this bearing block, and then my Z-axis bolts to this face plate. And I tied it together with this angle, so it's all one piece. And seems to work really well. Now the Z-axis, I bought this, not all of it. This plate I made or cut and drilled, tapped and everything. But all this aluminum right here, and these shafts and all this I bought. This is I got off of eBay from a company called Micro Cars, and this is a really nice Z-axis. I don't know if you can see, but I have 10 machine screws screwing it to this faceplate here, and I don't have a motor on it yet, but it works really well. The only thing that I had to have made at a machine shop was this coupling right here, and all I had them do was cut me a piece of round bar and drill a hole all the way through it, and I wanted them to do that on a lathe so that it would be straight through here. All I have to even try to do that is a drill press, and I don't think I'd get that hole straight all the way through with a drill press. And the reason I had to make it, I couldn't find one online or anywhere that had a 1/4 inch hole on one side and a 3/8 on the other, and that's what this had to be. My motor has a 1/4 inch shaft, and this is 3/8 shaft. I did drill and tap the set screw holes myself though, so I did do part of it. My last machine, I had one of these Hitachi routers on it, and it worked really well, and I loved the router, so I opted to go ahead and go with another Hitachi router. These bolts, U-bolts here holding it on, these are U-bolts that hold the rear end under a truck. I went to AutoZone and bought these. I did have to do a little grinding on the inside of the bolts to make this fit, but it is a very tight fit, and this thing is not going to move. Before I even got everything snugged down good, this thing was tight and you couldn't twist it at all, so that's not going anywhere. I have, I think, about 6 inches of, or about 5.5 inches of Z-travel, and I'm just letting it up and down with my hand, and I'm not going to try to let it all the way up and down with my hand, but so that's where I'm at on here. My next video will be motors, stepper motors, and electronics and wiring. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.